This woman is cooking with a snake, and the madman is aware. "Snake in the pot! Snake! You people are eating snake!" the madman shouted, his voice cutting through the busy afternoon market like thunder. Everyone turned. He stood at the front of Femi's food stall, pointing straight at her big iron pot bubbling over a burning tire. "I saw it. The snake raised its head and hissed, 'You're not eating meat, you're eating snake.'" Some people gasped. Then they burst into laughter. "Here he comes again," someone shouted. "This madman no gets rest," another said, still holding a school full of rice. "Abeg, shift. Hunger is killing me," someone else added. But the madman's eyes were serious. He looked straight at Femi, his hands shaking. "You, woman, you are feeding them snake. You are not what you look like. You are a snake woman." At first, she stayed calm. She stood behind her stall with her usual smile. Her wrapper was neat, her head tied, and her hands were busy serving plates of hot jollof rice, efo riro, and thick goat meat pete soup. But then, her face changed. "Get away from my shop, you fool. Go and back somewhere else before I pour hot oil on your head." She picked up a wooden spoon and chased him off. The crowd laughed louder as the madman ran down the street, still shouting, "You will all see. One day her secret will come out. You are eating from a snake's pot. A snake woman lives among you." Femi went back to serving food. Her food was too sweet, too powerful, too addictive. Nobody cared what a madman said, especially not when their mouths were full and the taste irresistible. But someone was watching from across the market. Her name was Mama Tayo, a food seller whose business had died since Femi became popular. She sat on her wooden stool, staring at the pot, remembering the madman's words, "You are a snake." She didn't believe in gossip, but something didn't feel right. In the middle of the night, something strange happened. Inside her room, far from the eyes of the world, Femi's body began to twist. Her bones cracked, her skin shifted, her eyes turned golden, and within seconds she was no longer a woman, but a giant black snake. She came out of the house through a crack in the wall and disappeared into the darkness, her glowing eyes fixed on one thing, the madman. She found him sleeping at the bus park. His breath was soft and peaceful, but peace was not what she brought. With one silent strike, she sank her fangs into his neck and he died right there, quiet, cold, and alone. Then she rose tall, her long body transformed back into her human form. Her wrapper appeared like smoke around her. Her eyes still carried the glow of the beast. She stood over the lifeless body, sneering. "Foolish man," she said, her voice cold and full of poison. "You tried to ruin my business. Now look at you. Go and rest in hell, fool." With a bitter, cruel laugh, she turned and vanished into the shadows, leaving nothing behind but silence and a cold body lying beneath the stars. So when she came back from killing the madman, Femi sat on her bed, transformed into a snake, and whispered dark words, like, "They will eat and forget, crave and obey. My food will call them, their minds will be mine. Let no one resist me, and let any tongue that speaks fall silent forever." She laughed out loud, and transformed back into a human. The next day, the market in Illode was as busy as ever. Traders shouted prices, buyers bargained, and the smell of fresh vegetables mixed with smoke from roasted corn and frying oil. But as always, one place had the biggest crowd, Femi's food stall. Her store stood right in the middle of the market, close to the junction where everyone passed. The queue was long. People came with plates, bowls, and even coolers just to get her food. Some didn't even wait for chairs. They ate standing. Her food tasted like magic. Sweet, spicy, soft, something no other vendor could match. Even rich men came down from their cars to eat from her plastic plates. Some washed their own hands, wiped sweat from their faces, and waited patiently just to be served. That alone was strange. Since when did people with money beg to eat roadside food? Across the street, Mama Tayo watched silently from her almost empty store. Just a few years ago, her food was the best in the market. People used to line up for her jollof rice and beans. But now, even her regular customers had disappeared. All of them now ate at Femi's place. Mama Tayo wiped her hands on her wrapper and sighed. She had lowered her prices, added more meat, even tried changing her recipe, but nothing worked. Then she remembered the madman's word. "You are not what you look like. You are a snake." At first, she had ignored it. Everyone said the man was crazy. But that day, when Femi shouted and chased him away, something in her eyes didn't look right. Her smile faded too quickly.
Her anger was too sharp, like someone hiding something. And Mama Taya saw one more thing. Femi had not looked surprised by the man's words. Not surprised at all. That evening, when the market closed and most sellers packed up, Mama Tayo stayed behind. She pretended to be arranging her things, but her eyes followed Femi as she cleaned her stall. The big pot still sat on the burning tire, steaming quietly, the same pot that the madman had pointed at. Then Mama Tayo saw something strange. As Femi poured water into the pot, she whispered words, not in any language Mama Tayo knew. Her eyes changed for a moment, just a flash, yellow, like an animal. Mama Tayo gasped softly and stepped back. Something was not right, and she needed help to find out what it was. That night, Mama Tayo could not sleep. She turned on her mat again and again, her heart heavy with fear and confusion. Each time she closed her eyes, she saw that flash, those yellow animal-like eyes inside Femi's face. She sat up, wrapped her wrapper tighter, and stared at the dark corner of her room. "No," she whispered. "This is not normal. I must know the truth, and I will expose her." She packed a small bag, wore her scarf, and left her compound. She followed a narrow footpath that led to the bush side of the next village, a place people feared to go alone. That was where Mama Abeni lived, an old seer known for her strong spirit. Some feared her, others respected her, but all knew she never lied. When Mama Tayo reached her hut, the old woman was already sitting outside, grinding leaves. Without looking up, she spoke. "You came because of the woman who feeds people snake meat. Be careful, my daughter. She is dangerous. She has killed the madman who tried to expose her. If she knows your motive of trying to expose her, she will finish you." Mama Tayo froze. "So, she killed the madman?" Ma Beni looked up slowly.
"You see that woman called Femi? She's not a real human. I know what hides inside her pot," said the spiritualist. Mama Tayo sat down, her hands shaking. "I saw something. I think she's using charms or dark power. Her food, it's like a spell. People can't stop eating it." Mama Beni nodded. "Because it is not food alone, it is spirit food. She feeds them from her covenants." "Covenant? How? You are getting me confused, Mama." "She is tied to something evil, a spirit of the snake. It lives in her pot. It gives her success, but it also eats the souls of her customers slowly, through every swallow." Mama Tayo felt cold all over. "What do I do?" The old woman reached into a calabash and brought out a small packet wrapped in red cloth. "Sprinkle this around her pot when no one is watching. If she is truly a servant of the snake, the truth will show itself. But be warned, once it begins, it cannot be undone." Mama Tayo took the packet with trembling hands. Her heart beat fast. She didn't want trouble, but she also couldn't let her people keep eating from a snake's pot. Tomorrow, she would go to the market and she would uncover Femi's secret. The sun rose slowly over Illode market, painting the sky with soft orange light. Traders began opening their stalls, sweeping the ground, and preparing for the new day. But Mama Tayo wasn't thinking about sales. She wasn't thinking about jollof rice or meat or money. Her mind was on only one thing, the red packet hidden in the folds of her wrapper. She reached the market early and sat quietly at her stall, eyes fixed on Femi's corner. As always, a crowd had already gathered in front of the food store. People were laughing, clapping, and shouting over each other, trying to get served first. Mama Tayo was now thinking of how she would carry out her assignment without being caught, so she thought of one thing. "I need to go and beg her to teach me her recipe. In that way, she won't suspect me." She then smiled gently. Her hands were sweaty. Her heart beat like a drum in her chest. "Now or never," she whispered. She stood up slowly and walked across the dusty road, pretending to beg for recipe, to revive her business. She smiled at the people in line and greeted the Femi cheerfully. "Ah, Femi, good morning, oh." "Ah, Mama Tayo, this one you come to my shop. I hope all is well," Femi said with a grin, scooping stew into a plate. "All is not well, my sister. My business is dying. I need your help." Femi smiled. "Oh, my sister, sit down. Let me serve you food first. I want you to know that I'm not doing anything special. I'm just gifted. Anything I cook turned out well." Mama Tayo laughed, but inside she was shaking. She moved close to the cooking area where the big black pot sat, bubbling with thick stew. Steam rose into the air. The smell was rich and tempting, but now, to her, it smelled like danger. Everyone around was busy eating or waiting. No one was watching her. As soon as Iyafemi stepped aside to get a plate to serve her food, she slipped her hand into her wrapper, pulled out the red packet from Mama Benny, and bent down slowly, pretending to tie her shoe. Then she sprinkled the powder around the pot. Nothing happened. She stood up and stepped back, her heart pounding harder now. Still, nothing. Then the pot shook just a little. No one noticed. Mama Tayo stared. The pot shook again, this time louder, as if something inside was moving. The stew bubbled wildly. A strange sound came from it, a hiss. "Did you hear that?" someone said. "What was that sound?" Another said, holding their spoon mid-air. Then suddenly the lid of the pot flew off, and a huge black snake rose from the stew. Its eyes were glowing, its tongue flicked, it hissed loudly, showing sharp fangs. People screamed, plates dropped, food spilled, children cried, the crowd scattered in fear. Mama Tayo didn't move. She couldn't. Her eyes were fixed on the snake as it looked around and then slowly sank back into the pot. The pot was still again, but the truth was out. And Iyafemi stood frozen, her mouth open, her hands shaking. The charm had worked. People started running.
"You snake woman, your end has finally come. So you have been feeding people with snake food," said Mama Tayo. Iyafemi stood frozen, looking at the pot with the snake. There were screams, shouts, running feet. Plates crashed to the ground. People pushed and stumbled over each other, trying to escape Iyafemi's food store. "Snake, did you see it? It came out of the pot. I ate from that pot. Oh God, I ate from it." Some were crying, others were frozen in place, too shocked to move. Even the richest customers, the ones who had come in clean clothes and big cars, now looked like frightened children. All the pride became with was gone, replaced by fear and disgust. The big black snake had risen from the stew, alive, glowing, hissing, and gone back into the pot because it belonged there. Iyafemi stood at her stall, her arms still moting. The plate of rice she was holding had fallen. Her mouth was open, but no words came out. Her face had changed. Her beauty was fading. Her skin had lost its shine. "Stone her to death," people shouted. "This witch must die," another person shouted. For a moment, she just stared at the pot. Then slowly she looked up and saw that everyone was staring at her, picking up stone from the ground. You've been feeding us snake? You snake witch, your end has come today," one rich man said. They stoned, but all the stones they threw at her did not meet her. This one is a strong witch. They screwed the killer." Mama Tayo stood in front of the crowd, her voice steady. "The madman won, but no one listened. You all laughed at him, called him names without investigating. She has been using something dark to make you all love her food. She's a witch, a snake woman," someone shouted. Iyafemi looked at Mama Tayo as if she should tear her alive, but the crowd are angry, waiting to kill her. Mama Tayo quickly carried bead and wear around her neck just to protect herself from Iyafemi's venom. She shouted, "Let's kill her before she escapes." Some people are scared. Some move closer to attack. As soon as they draw closer, Iyafemi opened her mouth to speak, but no sound came. Her body began to shake. Her legs weakened. She dropped to her knees and quickly transformed into an old woman with dry skin, dry breast. "Jesus! Jesus! What is this?" people shouted. One man rushed to grab her. "She must die," he said. Before he could get hold of her, she transformed into a big poisonous giant snake, and the crowd scattered. They ran, some forget their cars. The snake moved through the market and nobody followed. People were too scared, too confused, and some that stayed behind are forcing themselves to vomit the food they ate. That was how Iyafemi disappeared. And from that day on, nobody ever saw her again. The sun rose quietly over Illode market. People walked past Iyafemi's empty store with wide eyes and quiet mouths. No one had seen Iyafemi since the day she transformed into a snake. Some went to her house, but the whole place was quiet. Some said she crawled into the bush, others said she vanished into thin air. A few believed she had gone to her shrine in the forest, never to return. But one thing was clear. She was not coming back. People were afraid to eat food outside their homes, afraid to trust anyone. Many shoppers stopped buying food from the market completely. Some vendors closed their stores out of fear. Others swore they would only eat what they cooked at home. But slowly, very slowly, few persons began to return to Mama Tayo's stall. They remembered she was the one who stood up when the madman warned them, the one who saw the truth when others laughed. Her pots were smaller, her food was simpler, but her heart was clean. She cooked with peace, she cooked with prayers, and that was enough. They remembered the madman and they prayed for his soul to rest in peace. They wished they had listened to him and protect him from Iyafemi's venom. The people of Illode learned a lesson they will never forget. Not every sweet food is clean. Not every smiling face is pure. And sometimes what hides in the pot is more dangerous than what we see on the plate. From that day on, whenever people walked past the restaurant with so many customers, they looked twice. just in case something with fangs is looking back. May God protect us all from evil. Amen. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, kindly share so others can watch too. See you in my next video. Bye.